Hey everybody, Judy the YouTube Lawyer here. Today I'm going to be showing you part of the state's answer to the demand for discovery and the demand for notice of alibi. This was filed just yesterday afternoon by Jack Campbell. And as you can see, there's a lots of names of people here, lots of witnesses, people that law enforcement interviewed. So it does include lots of people's phone numbers, addresses, and emails. So I'm not going to show a big chunk of these just to sort of protect their privacy. It is a public document, but I don't think YouTube really likes it when you show too much information. So these are the potential witnesses, and it's mostly law enforcement. See Chris Corbett, Craig Isom, Corey Hale. We are familiar with lots of these names. Okay, so just going to jump ahead because the next 5 pages have a lot of people's contact info. Okay, so this is where you see some of the names. This doesn't have people's addresses, so I think it's okay to show this. Of course, we are familiar with Shadrach Nobles, a lot of these friends, people who knew the people involved. Stuart Schlazer was the person who spoke with Dan on the phone when he was shot. Kiana Abdul, I think that's the person who had hung out with Shadrach and maybe Sigfredo and Lewis when they were at the hotel. And I'm pretty sure Deep Dive True Crime, James had put her police interview up on his channel. She didn't really have a lot to say. Let's see, I'm not sure who this is. Ryan Cox, the Greenbergs are Dan's friends who spoke with the police. That's on Deep Dive True Crime's Patreon. Not sure who Billy Hill is, who's Penny Rose, who's Robert Swartz. Okay, so not sure who is Kenneth Davis, Mike Dillmore, and, well, I guess that's Trooper Downing. Okay, so let me scroll down. I think this is okay to show. So we have lots of recordings, wiretap recordings of Donna, plus, I guess, co-defendants. Would that be Charlie? Okay, nothing was provided by a confidential informant. Okay, there's not a search and seizure? Okay, as far as I know, very recently, there was a search warrant executed at Donna and Harvey's condo, where they also took Harvey's cell phone and iPad. Okay, experts listed above. Okay, so this is basically the same stuff that we saw in previous trials. The vehicle scene photos, evidence from Dan's vehicle, the hospital scene, medical examiner photos, swabs, fingerprints, video surveillance. So this is interesting because I didn't realize there was so much video surveillance footage from different places, such as it says school maintenance building, another credit union, different bank, Goodwill, another bank. Of course, I did hear about the Metro bus footage. Okay, Turnpike Toll, Premier Gym, we knew about that. JP Morgan Chase ATM, we knew about that. Kmart, where Lacasse was seen purchasing something. Walmart video from when Katie and Sigfredo bought burner phones. Okay, so I didn't know about this one. Capital City Bank, where Dan Markel made a bank transaction 2 days before he was shot. Okay, financial records. This is where I have to stop, unfortunately, because for some reason they included all these different account numbers for the Adelson's bank accounts, Wendi's accounts, Harvey's accounts, Donna's. So I don't think that would be good to show. So let me take that off the screen. Okay, so tons and tons of accounts, information from, say, 2013 through 2016. Sigfredo's financial accounts, tax returns, tax records, his employment records, Katie's employment records, Bank of America stuff, her tax and income, McBanwa food stamp withdrawals. Okay, I didn't realize she had food stamps. Okay, then they also got Luis Rivera's bank and employment records, Lacass's credit card info, call records regarding Wendi, Jeff, Harvey, Donna, Charlie, Dan, Louis, Sigfredo, Katie, AT&T, Darren Schwartz. Who could that be? Okay, not sure who that is. Francis McBenwa, that's Katie's oldest brother. Osvaldo Rodriguez, Christopher Best, Sean Posner, David Perez, Sadie Castillo, Jeffrey Maximus, Jeffrey Sterling. I don't know who these people are. Michael Perez, Trackphone, Kayana Abdul. Okay, so Wendy's Gmail accounts, Dan Markel's computer data, iCloud. Okay, cell phone records, Rivera's jail prison calls, emails, Facebook records for Katie and Tuto. Okay, there's hotel records from, interesting. Okay, because they have multiple hotel records. There's Courtyard, Residence Inn, Cabot Lodge, Extended Stay, Hilton Garden Inn. Okay, because as far as I know, I thought the two hitmen stayed at the, was it a Roadway Inn? Okay, so they do have a Roadway Inn receipt as well as Budget Inn. Rental car contracts, rental car GPS, the traffic citation from June 2nd as well as June 4th. Okay, so I didn't know. I thought they only got one speeding ticket, but it looks like there might have been two. Okay, so the bump stuff, bump audio. Okay, so hopefully I can show this because this part doesn't have anybody's phone numbers and addresses. So here we go. Okay, bump wire, FBI surveillance, body cam footage, CVs of the experts regarding Dolce Vita, bump letter, bump call, recorded phone calls, wiretap, Dolce Vita transcript, Matsuri transcripts. Okay, interviews. So this is where, yeah, never heard of this person. Who is Jorge Virela? Somebody, maybe it's somebody that Sigfredo worked for, or maybe his friend from December 2014. When they talked to Sigfredo, that was on Deep Dive True Crime recently. School board records for Sigfredo Garcia. Okay, is that relevant? That's interesting. His smartphone, jail calls. Okay, Luis Rivera. Proffered fan ride, proffer grand jury testimony, wiretaps. Okay, so let's see. Juan Vega was a guy who was interviewed by investigators. He was also in jail for something, but he didn't really have anything useful to say. Jessica testified at Katie's trial. She was Lewis's daughter's mom. Nicholas was the jail informant who died about 2 years ago. I'm not sure who John Leishman is. So it looks like they spoke with Katie's brother. Not sure who Steve Heineke. Jason McNair is the person who was in jail with Sigfredo and said that Sigfredo told him about the Adelsons paying $50K to hire hitmen who then just took the money, didn't do anything, and basically ripped them off. Okay. Ms. Herrera, she's the so-called witch. that was from Katie's sister-in-law's, what was it, like criminal case where she stole over $1 million from her employer. So that sister-in-law, Samantha, said that she was taken in by Carrie Dodd Herrera, who was a witch who gave her, I don't know, spiritual guidance and took away her money and cheated her. So good old Samantha tried to blame it all on this person. And I think Carrie Dodd did visit Katie in jail. There's a picture of her floating around. Okay, so we know Shadrick Kiana is the person who I'm pretty sure was with them in the hotel for part of the time. We know Tamara Stewart Schlaser was the teacher at the chartered school. Not sure who Ms. Schmidt is. Willie Kill, Ryan Cox, don't know who those people are. Okay, and this is pretty amazing. I had no idea they did so many depositions of these people. Some of them never heard of before. Okay, some of them were witnesses in previous trials. Okay, so who is Megan Yarif? Don't know who that person is. List of students for Wendi and Dan. List of cases Dan was involved in. Photos of the firearm recovered in Madison County. Well, that's interesting because I thought they never found the gun that was used. Okay. Emails regarding the real Dan Markel murder. Emails to the state from Joseph Manzaro and Guillermo Farinas. Okay. Don't know who the second person is, but Joseph, I think, is the guy who had claimed somebody asked him if he would kill somebody for $10,000, and that person was asking on behalf of Charlie back in 2013. So he posted that to the Justice for Dan Facebook group and said he was insulted because he thought he was asked because he's Italian or of Italian ancestry. But sources have said that this guy is not too credible, has some issues. So that could be why he wasn't a potential witness. Okay, so I don't know who Henry, Dwayne, who's Imran Hussein. Don't know about this inmate, Mr. Miller. Let's see, letters from Lewis. I just saw that in his file, so I'll cover that separately. Let's see, letter from Jason McNair. See, that same guy who had talked to Sigfredo in jail. Don't know who Jennifer Mosley is. Don't know who Lisa Tucker is. John Leishman. Okay, we've seen this letter from Garcia to Katie. Mentor lawyer, read that last year. Letter to Lewis from James Carlos Santos. Don't know about that. Never saw that. Photos of Wendy's car. Consent to search form that she signed. The divorce documents. Divorce deposition. Mentor lawyer also did some good reenactments of that. The gunshot residue kit. Picture of Wendi and Katie on the beach. We've seen that. So this is good to know. They have all the disability lawsuit, bunch of BS stuff. This is deposition, his financials that were part of the disability lawsuit filings, deposition of the accountant, which I'd read last year. Okay. My phone from Katie, cell phone seeds from Katie, inmate visitor logs, letter from M. Martinez. Don't know about that. So if you guys know what some of these things are, that would be great to hear. Picture of Katie and Charlie at the sunset. Yes. Haven't seen the picture of Katie with Charlie with Alexis, though. It's probably, I don't know if that's as relevant in Donna's case. Jail calls, photo lineup. See, this is where I'm still interested in getting to the truth of what happened with this. It says they showed a picture of Wendi to Lewis, and Chris DeCoste asked Lewis about that, but now I can't remember exactly what was said at last year's trial. So yeah, there's so many details here. It's hard to keep track. Okay, so they took swabs from Dan's parents, victim's pictures, passport, son's passport, daycare photos, park photos. Okay, highway patrol policy manual. Okay, uniform, traffic citation training, records for the Prius, trial transcripts from both prior trials. Boy, this is going to take Donna's attorneys a ton of time to look through. Okay, so defense counsel can inspect, copy, test, or photograph those statements, documents, test results, and or tangible items of evidence. Okay, so they also want Donna's defense to submit their witness list within 7 days and let them inspect, copy, test, or photograph whatever they have within 15 days. They also want a demand for notice of alibi if they are going to use such a defense at trial. So, okay, so that's it. There we go. Let's make this relatively short since sometimes really long videos and long live streams are just too long. People just kind of tune out of them. So hope you guys enjoyed this info, and tune in for the next video, which will focus on Luis Rivera's recent court filings. And we will also have a great live stream show with special guest lawyer Chuck Collins, who represented Luis Rivera back in 2016 when he made his deal with the state. Thanks for your support of this channel. Have a good evening.